I have a business before this business. So back when I was at 12 years old, my granddad helped me build a little greenhouse. It was 14 by 12 feet. My first year, I wanted that greenhouse because my grandparents took me to greenhouses such as Open Change greenhouses on Shenandoah Avenue. Um, and there were no Lowe's garden centers there. There were no Home Depots back then. You went to a greenhouse and you bought your bedding plants, tomato plants, geraniums, and so on. And I went there. My grandparents also took me into flower shops when I was a little kid because they set lots of flowers for sympathy. So I was exposed to a lot of that growing up. Um, there was a greenhouse near where I lived, and when I was 11 or so years old, I asked the man. I said, "Hey, will you teach me to grow plants if I help you? If I come here and work?" And so on Saturdays, I would walk up the hill to Cordy Maxey's greenhouse, and that's where I learned. And then he he said, you ought to build your own little greenhouse, and here, you can. This way, you'll make a little money. So that business would grow into a plant shop. It would be Clements Plant Shop. This is a sign from that someone in high school made me in art class. I guess a lot of people have asked me when they're driving by, they're like, why is that field empty? Why is this? And I explain to them, hey, this used to be a hotel, but it flooded very, very frequently. And there's a creek that flows through there, or the Ore Branch, and there it is right there. And so the city eventually is going to widen that and naturalize all that. And so nothing is to be built back on this property. And if everything continues with their process, this property here will become the same as that. It'll all be green space, no parking lots, no building whatsoever. But the reason is because that creek is right here, and it is right behind our greenhouse. This property is subject to flooding. Our flooding doesn't usually come directly, it comes across the road into our property, comes and starts flowing through our parking lot before it floods here. I guess I purchased this property in 1997, we've probably had 8 major cleanups. So right now we're setting as our earliest possible move summer of 2026.